Hey, good morning. Welcome to One Verse. So glad that you joined us. We are in day two or part two of our little Monday, Tuesday two-part series looking at Romans chapter 12. Yesterday we were in verse 1. Today, our one verse is Romans 12, verse 2. And this is what it says. Do not conform to the pattern of this world, but be transformed by the renewing of your mind. Then you will be able to test and approve what God's will is, his good, pleasing, and perfect will. It's another one of those verses. Did you realize how many verses? Because I feel like I've read just about every one during these one verses, or I will over the course of a year. I'm finding every one that I possibly can, and that is those verses that continually talk about finding God's will. And if you'll notice, see, in our lives and in our minds, we feel like finding God's will is so difficult. It's so elusive. It's so hard. How can we ever know it? I'm going to chase my whole life, and maybe towards the end, maybe if I get lucky, maybe if I'm one of the few, I'll discover God's will for my life. And yet when we read these verses, we find over and over again that God wants us to know his will. He wants what's best for us. If it's his will and his plan, then it's our purpose, and that's what he wants us to discover. And once again, here's another one of those verses that gives us actually a very simple step. I don't think it's the only step, but I think it's one of the simple steps that we find in these verses to discover God's will for our life. And what's this verse say? It says, don't be like the world. Everything that we see on TV, everything that we see on the internet, don't get caught up in the garbage we see on the magazines, at the newsstand, and at the grocery store checkout. That's not what we're supposed to live like. But if we are transformed by renewing and refreshing our mind daily on the things of God, well, through that, I guarantee you that over time you will discover God's will because you will be becoming more and more like Jesus. Have a good day.